How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to a brand new post-commentary feature match from locals from April 3rd, round 4. This is Earth Machines versus Witchcrafters. Yep, I know, right? Witchcrafters. As you see, I have a very unfortunate turn 1 setting 2 and pass. It's both copies of Urgent Schedule, by the way. But I love Urgent Schedule, so, you know, it's just very unlucky that I happen to draw both copies of it in the opening hand. Extremely unlikely. Very, very, very unlikely. So, with my opponent getting started with the Extravagance, must be nice. Yeah, this match I also want to mention was covered in brief detail in an episode of One Deck One Month, episode 2. So go check that episode out if you guys haven't already. Episode 3 is coming. It is a little bit delayed. Our locals did get canceled this previous weekend, so that's why there was no episode. But episode 3 should be on the way very, very soon. So my opponent following up that pot of Extravagance with a copy of Foolish Burial Goods, which, speaking of Foolish Burial Goods, is actually a card that I've contemplated time and time again to actually play an Earth Machine for the sole purpose of sending Overdrive to the grave. Because what I find a lot of times with the trap lineup that I specifically play is that not resolving the effect to summon a Machina from deck is the best part, but getting back your banished Infinitrax to ensure the deck's grind game and its longevity is so crucial, in those games where you don't see it until way later oftentimes cost you. And, you know, playing, obviously, Foolish Burial Goods to get direct access to it sounds very enticing. You know, you could play Trap Trick, but Trap Trick could potentially turn off other traps that you have set. You know, I don't know. Foolish Burial Goods is just one of those cards that's like kind of been in the back of my head for a little while, living rent free there, if you will, for the Overdrive. So my opponent had a very unproductive turn there, and now it's back to me, where I think I set one, passed it back to him, and now I'm actually finding a starter card here. That set monster is Bell, and keep in mind the deck list that I'm running in this video is far different than the deck list that I'm currently running right now. Been playing a lot of Dueling Book the past couple days. Been getting up into this. I actually finally got up into 600 rating. Would definitely like to get up into at least 800, and I think it's 100% possible with the Earth Machine strategy. Very, very capable of doing that. There's the Urgent Schedule, doing what it does best at punishing one of the better hand traps in the game, and that is Gamma. So right here, I summon out Fortress and Harvester, which, for those that don't know, resolving Urgent Schedule. You know, all you need to summon is Harvester and Fortress. If that's not what I already said, I might have said Trencher. But if you summon Fortress and Harvester right off of your Urgent Schedule, that will actually give you an entire 1-card combo without expending the normal summon. So going second with Urgent Schedule, it's a great card to start with, as it will, of course, bait an interruption or hand trap. And at that point, you can follow up with your heavy forwards, your dozers, your crunchers, whatever it may be. So I am going for that route sort of similarly here. You know, I did start with the dozer, did get met with a Gamma, which is a little unfortunate, but not so unfortunate. And the fact that it actually didn't resolve is good, because that means I'm not actually currently locked into Earth Machines, because the effect never resolved because of Gamma. At least that's how I think it would work. So now just going into a rank 9. Of course, Box added me Drill, I believe, or it might have added me Tunneler. But normally you would add Trencher there, because you just pitch Box and Trencher, you know, to summon back the Fortress, and then Trencher brings back the Harvester. I did do that, but I already had the Trencher in hand, so didn't need to search it off of the box. We're going to go for Earth Slicer here. Actually, yeah, we're going to go for Earth Slicer here, because I think it would just be more impactful than going for the Enter Blathnir at this point to try to clear out those 2 back row. One of them ends up being a Cosmic, the other one another Witchcrafter spell. Not really too much of a concern there. He's also going to have a Witchcrafter Golem Aruru, and it's just going to summon itself to the field. Not really do anything to interact with me, just kind of acting as a body right now. And we're just going to link now into the Goliath, go into Knuckle. All very, very standard plays here. The only thing that we really didn't get to do this turn was to get into River Stormer, which is not such a big deal. You know, we're still able to resolve Tunneler, you know, which is perfectly fine. We got to Ballista, made a very powerful rank 9 play. You know, we have Bullet in the grave, I believe. I think we might have Bullet in the grave. Could be wrong. Actually, we might not have Bullet in the grave. But we're gonna draw 2 here. See what we pick up. Obviously, probably not going to be able to OTK this yet. We do not have a Bullet in the grave, but we do draw a redeployment, which is pretty nice. Going to discard a Fortress in hand and not discard the Drill. And that will allow me to actually add Overdrive as well as a copy of Cruncher. And you see we're playing the 2 Fortress here, which I still stand by to this day. I think 2 Fortress is pretty good. I think it's really, really good. Fortress is one of those cards that, like, it's just outstanding. Very, very outstanding card. Lets you play through a lot of interruptions. It's a card that you can easily punish the opponent with too. And it can help you out a lot of things just simply by crashing it into things that the opponent has. You know, forcing interruptions by that mandatory effect that it gets when it's destroyed by battle or if it's targeted. So very, very wonderful card. I've been really enjoying playing it at 2. So we set the Overdrive, and we clear the rest of his monsters except for the Driver. And we actually attach the Golem Maruru to our Earth Slicer since we did destroy it by battle. So now we have another material on Earth Slicer ready for next turn if he does not clear it. And if he does clear it by battle or card effect, you know, we will get that Citadel that we have in the grave right now. He's going to activate the Witchcrafter Rhoda, I believe. Forgive me, I don't know all of their names. And then I believe now going to probably normal summon the Shemitah. And I believe this one sends itself to summon another Witchcrafter from deck. Yeah, sends itself and discards a spell. So if you're me, I'm thinking, you know, that might be a pretty good point to stop. But okay, I don't have the hand trap here. Yeah, okay. That'd be a pretty good spot to Ash. It'd be essentially just making them go -2, but he is able to at least spec out a Witchcrafter Hane, and then using Shemitah's Graveyard effect here, banishing itself. He also looked like he did discard a Dark Ruler to be able to resolve Shemitah, which I guess is okay. Dark Ruler not really doing a whole lot for him here anyways. He's going to activate the Monster Reborn spell here, which I do have Go Spell for. So Go Spell coming in very clutch there. I actually have, you know, still that copy of Go Spell set right now on the field. Doing pretty much nothing, but it's all right. We've got Knuckle on board still. We've got Overdrive set. And we've still got that 3100 Earth Slicer with ammunition ready to fire off next turn. Now, Witchcrafter Hane, for those that don't know, basically just a quick effect Raigeki Break by discarding a spell. And he's going to use that now on Earth Slicer, and I'm going to chain, targeting the Earth Slicer. That's, of course, going to allow me to special summon a Machina with a different name than the machine that I targeted from the hand or deck, and then that card will get destroyed. So we're going to summon out Cruncher here, since, again, we already have access to Citadel. His Golem Maru will go back to the grave as it still was material for Earth Slicer. And then we're going to go Chainlink to Citadel, Chainlink 1 Cruncher, Chain block the Cruncher here to get that guaranteed search. So now we're trying to get access to those level 10s that I thought we had earlier, but we didn't. Which makes sense because we didn't get access to Riverstormer. And Riverstormer is usually the way that you're getting access to, you know, one of those level 10 machines. In this list, too, I was still on the double Derrick Crane, which is something I wish I could still fit in my current deck list. But I just don't think there's the room. And it's unfortunate because there are so many turns where I feel like the deck can and should be able to OTK, but just oftentimes is not, just because it just lacks that sheer extender power, which is really unfortunate. So we get the Citadel on board. We get a search on top of it. Feeling really good here. He's going to attempt to attack into the Cruncher, I believe. And I'm going to chain Citadel. And we're going to target Cruncher. So that's going to destroy anything 2800 lower. And he's just going to go ahead and scoop right then and there. Hey guys, just wanted to let you all know that Imperium Duelist has come out with some brand new products. The first being their Fire Attribute deck box, following up the Dark Attribute deck box they did a few months back. Really nice interior color as well. They also just came out with a brand new 9-pocket binder, looking pretty slick, themed after the spell Magic Formula. Got some nice white pages there, and some nice artwork on the front and back of the binder with the zipper as well. Actually pretty handy feature. And last but not least, my playmat Blazing Permafrost is still available. It's a limited supply of these, and once they're gone, they are gone. So go ahead and grab one now if you haven't. And you can get all this stuff for 10% off using my discount code WinterKill10 off at checkout, and of course support the channel in the process. Also guys, please do not forget to use my affiliate link to TCG Player down in the description of all my videos. If you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back in the channel, and it helps out a ton. And if you guys are enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel quite a bit, and of course will help us to get to that 20,000 subscriber milestone. Really looking forward to that, so we can do a big giveaway as well. So yeah, this is the part that I thought was happening in game 1. I guess I had them mixed up, but yeah, so this is that part where, like, from game 1 I saw that Shemitah seemed like a very good card to Ash. Of course, I knew he was still on Gamma, but I was like, you know what? We'll just go ahead and, risk it, essentially. Risk it for the biscuit. Because, if I Ash this Shemitah, he's sending itself off the field. That's his normal summon. He's discarding a card. Perfect place to Ash, but he does have the Gamma once more. And he's going to be able to resolve Shemitah's graveyard effect, banishing it to summon out Hane from the deck. So I think what you're looking at here is, the extent of what Witchcrafters can do. At least to what I've seen. I know Golem Ruru can actually be a pretty solid card. He just didn't get to fully resolve its, good effects game 1. Kind of just hit the board to act as like a blocker for damage. And then end phase, we're going to see the Witchcrafter spells do what they do. They just add themselves back, or by street, the continuous spell on his field, playing itself back to the field if their effects were not used. Because I remember way back when this archetype first got announced, there was the cool thing that about the archetype was that if those spells were discarded for cost for a lot of the Witchcrafter monsters and you didn't get to use their effects that turn, their other effects, they had an additional effect that says, if they were in the graveyard, you could just return them to the hand to basically get back the cards that you lost, as a part of paying cost during your turn, which is actually a pretty neat mechanic. But Twin Twisters is a pretty good card, I heard, especially against decks that like to play back row or lots of spells in this instance. Cosmic Cyclone and By Street going to get hit, and we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Machina Metal Cruncher, or Machina Metal Cruncher, however you want to pronounce it. And we're going to go ahead and attempt to resolve that effect. No Gamma here, luckily, so we're safe from that 100%. Driver's banished, and he's got a monster on board, so we're feeling pretty good, and that monster is not Psyframe Lord Lambda. So we're just going to go ahead and reveal 2 Dozer and a Fortress. And hoping we kind of get the Fortress, because I think I have a Harvester in hand. You know what that means. If we get the Harvester, or if we get the Fortress, we can pull off that fancy rank 9 combo, which I actually love. And we're actually just going to pitch Redeployment here, discarding Dozer. That's how you know how stacked the hand is already at this point. Discarding a Dozer, right? Hand is gotta be bonkers. So we're adding Citadel and Fortress. And we're pitching, I believe, Harvester and Fortress here to summon out Fortress, linking those into Ancient Gear Ballista. And my opponent actually does have a Ghost Ogre here, interestingly enough. So we do get hit with the Ghost Ogre. But you guys know we did add Citadel off that redeployment. So it really doesn't matter too much here. We're still going to be able to get into the play that we want to get into. We're just going to have to do it in a bit of a different way. So we're going to still pitch Box and Trencher for the Fortress, and then Trencher's going to banish itself to summon out Harvester. Harvester on summon is searching the Dozer, getting that copy back that we essentially discarded earlier. And then level manipulation for rank 9, going for Blather, banishing the last card out of his hand, which I believe is the Monster Reborn for Witchcrafters. We detach importantly here Fortress, pitch the Citadel to summon back Fortress, giving us tribute fodder for Dozer, summoning out Tunneler off of Dozer, going for River Stormer here, just proceeding to the standard combo, really. So Ghost Ogre, as much as I love Ghost Ogre, just seemingly a pretty low impact hand trap against a lot of the current decks. Yeah, the only card I could really see it being okay against would be Dragon Link against something like Elpie. But if their arrow schemes are already really, really good, I don't really think it matters, because I believe even if you go Ghost Ogre Elpie and there are still 2 zones that are being pointed to by Link monsters, it can still resolve. So Ghost Ogre, it's one of those cards, man. Some formats it's insane, some formats it's not worth really considering. Whereas Ash Blossom, on the other hand, just always seems to be just always halfway decent. So we swing in for a little damage here. We get over Hane at 24 with Ender Blaster at 29 for 5. Swing in for 15 with Knuckle, set a back row, and pass. Of course, we get that end phase add from Bullet. My opponent top decks the Monster Born for Witchcrafters. Really not too big of a deal here, to be honest. He's got no cards in hand. We're feeling pretty okay here. He's going to attempt to go to the battle phase. I say, you know what, wait just a second. I'm going to use Knuckle here, get our boy Bullet on the field. Hey, look at him. He's got 0 defense. Why don't you go ahead and take a swing on him? 0 defense. Bullet is very, very good bait, I swear. They see you use Knuckle, and they're like, what's he doing? What's he going to revive? Level 10 out of the graveyard? Oh, wait, is this dinky 0 defense monster? What's the point of that? And then they take the bait, they run right into it, they secure you an end phase add back, and you can also potentially trigger something like Machina Citadel. So he's going to go to the end phase. He's going to get back his spells, By Street, and the other one, I don't think it's Holiday. I can't remember these. The only one I remember is By Street, I guess, and Holiday, but I don't know which one it is. So we get add back off a Bullet. He gets cards back as well. On my turn, I start by just going for Enter Blathnir, hitting the last card out of his hand, at least trying to. But he chains Hane just to get the value out of it. And we just go ahead and... I think it was banishing one on this field, not in his hand. So that's why he chained the Hane. So yeah, we get rid of Hane. He pops a card on my field. It's not really too big of an issue. Don't really care. We're just going to resolve Overdrive at this point and try to draw into some more extenders. See if we can maybe draw into a Derricrane. Really help secure the OTK here. It's only at 6,000, so there's really not much that I need to do. To be fair, I kind of overextend a little bit here. You know, kind of sauce on my opponent a little bit. But, you know, I felt comfortable doing so because he had no cards left in hand. And really nothing engraved that could interact here, so... And I kind of, I'll be honest, sometimes you ever just be mid-combo in a game and you don't really remember life points and you're just kind of like, I need 8,000 damage here regardless. That's kind of what happened to me in this situation. I kind of forgot that, like, I didn't need to put 8,000. I only needed 6,000. So, I mean, as it stands, right here, I mean, 25 and 29, it's not quite game. But here's game with the Knuckle, so I didn't need to use the Knuckle effect here to bring back Bullet, nor did I need to make Gustav Max. I mean, right here's game anyways, but again, we're just saucing on the op. Doesn't really matter. Burn for 2k to drop him down to 4. He scoops him up. GG's. 2-0 Earth Machines against that of the Witchcrafter deck. Witchcrafters seem pretty cool, man. I don't really know what the deck does. I hope it's more than that. It's got to be more than that. I hope it's not just a one pop and that's it. But yeah, I don't know. If Witchcrafters does more than that, let me know. It'd be really cool to see this deck actually do something. Because it reminds me a little bit of Spellbook. And Spellbook is one of my favorite decks of all time. So yeah, that's going to do it for this live duel commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed. One thing I was thinking about, if anybody's still watching, which I know most people aren't watching at this point, but if you are, you're a real one, and I appreciate you a lot. I was thinking about maybe adding face cam to these videos, just to make it a little more interesting and engaging. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to leave a like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, helps out the channel quite a bit. Be greatly appreciated. And yeah, Winterkill is signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And last but not least, a special thanks to all of the YouTube members supporting this channel, and a special thanks to those going above and beyond to help support me and do what I do. And those are Divine level channel members, and they are Zors and Cadillacs84. As always, thank you guys so much for your continued and very generous support of the channel.